Hello and welcome to Big Orbit Games unboxing video of the new Future Card Buddyfight set H-BT04 Mikado Evolution. My name is Simon and I'll be doing the unboxing today. This is the latest set for Buddyfight from the 100 Demons line. It's also the last of the 100 Demons line. Assured having just announced that they're moving to the new series Future Card Buddyfight Triple D. Exciting. So this is the last of the 100 Demons. So first of all, we got a box topper here, which is Rising Flare Heat Edge, size 2 monster, 6,000 attack, 4,000 defense, 2 critical. He's an armor dragon and a red dragon, and if you have Rising Flare Dragon in your drop zone, this card gets plus 2,000 power and plus 2,000 defense. Nice and cool. So what we're going to do is go through and open the packs. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on every card. I'll flick through a lot of them and just highlight some of the more interesting ones, and then we'll get to the exciting rares and show you those ones. Just so you know that I do know how to play Buddyfight. I do play Buddyfight, but I have a Kaiser Ryan deck, and that's about as far as my knowledge, unfortunately, does go for the game in general, so this is just going to be a gist of what I think and feel. So, Sword Symmetry Dragon, plus 1,000 power for each weapon in your drop zone, and Penetrate. That's pretty cool, although only 1,000 defense. We have Battle Deity Robo Stone General, just a good generic card. Oh, by the way, I should say this set is supporting Danger World, which is cool. Darkness Dragon, Dragon, and Star Dragon, and the 100 Demons in generics. So this is a very dragon-centric set, for good or ill. But it's good to see Danger World getting more main set support. So just a Battle Deity Robo for the generics. We got Star Dragon. It's a foil one as well. So there's always a chance of getting a rare, common or uncommon in foil. And we've got one here. It's an uncommon Ultraviolet Black Spectre. Cool cost, pay gauge and put top card of your deck into this card's soul. And it's just got move and soul guard, 5/5k and 2 crit. So I'm going to put the 4 separate because they're foily. Got an impact card. We have Gap of Blood Phantom Dust. Cool cost is pay 4 gauge. Destroy all black dragon monsters on your field. If you do, deal damage to your opponent equal to the total critical of those monsters. Now that's an impact. And then we have our first rare, Ritual of Deity Lord Descend. So it's a spell card for Danger World. Its cast cost is pay 2 gauge and discard a card from your hand, and then call up to one size 3 Jewel Dragon from your deck without paying its cool cost and shuffle your deck. Ooh, that is nice. We have Gate Guider de Lumiere. Sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing card names if you've never watched any of my videos. Just a forewarning, we have Crimson Battler Cheering Squad. We have Dragon Chase, cool spell. Only cast this card when your doubt damage costs a gauge, but destroy an item or spell on your opponent's field. Very useful card to have, rocking around. We have the 5th Omni Dragon Sword Emperor Fang. So even when it's not an actual dragon creature, we still get dragons in its name. So weapon for Dragon World, pay gauge and take a damage. If you doubt damage other than by an attack, you gain a life, but only once per turn. And then we've got another rare, which is Armor Dragon, Armor Knight Dragon, Earth Shaker. So 6 and 5k 2 crit, size 2, cool cost is pay gauge. If you have another Armor Knight in your field, this card gains Penetrate. And when this card attacks, if you have another Jewel Dragon on your field, for this turn, this card gets double tack as well. Oh, that is a foul, aggressive card. Can I open packs? No. Enshrouding All in Darkness. We have Violent Dragon. Energy of Universe. Crimson Battler. And then we've got, double rare, 5th Omni Armored Dragon, Sound Speed Sen. Looking very, very Sen. So 4,000 power and defense, 2 crit. When you're doubt damage, you may pay a gauge to draw a card. You can do this once per turn though, and it's got move. So good little utility piece, but it is taking up 2 sizes to be on the field. So whether or not you think that's worthwhile to have for the downside of not being able to play anything else. And then, we've got a rare impact here. So it's Hellgate Walter. Cool cost is pay 3 gauge, so cast cost. Call up to 2 death monsters with different sizes from your drop zone on separate areas by paying their cool cost. And you get another attack phase. Oh, yeah, that can be a pretty crippling impact there. Additional attack phases are always fun to have. Emergency Evade. Only cast this if you're being attacked. Cast cost is 2 gauge and discard a card from hand, but you get to null the attack. This card can't be nullified. So I suppose if you haven't got any of your world-specific counters, this could do, but it is a bit of a steep cost. Black Dragon, Dark Fog, Bloody Chainsaw Dragon. Just when it's destroyed by an effect, draw a card, so just gain a bit of extra draw, but it is quite weak. And we have Dangerous Rising. So it's a spell. It's set. At the end of your attack phase, you can pay a gauge to put the top card of your deck into the soul of a card on your field, and you can only do. You can only have one of these set. This combos nicely with a few other cards from Danger World to keep that the souls of them well stocked, especially the weapons, as you can see. So that's neat. Good to see Danger World getting some good support. Dragon Knight Pedrak. Another Battle Deity Robo. Dragon Chase. Oh, spoilers. We have a 4th Knight of the Apocalypse Thanatos. So this is for Darkness Dragon World, 2000, 2002 crit. If you have another Black Knight on your field, this card gets power 3000, defense 3000. Then if this card is your buddy monster, this card gets critical +2. So, yep, you pretty much choose that as your buddy. And we have V Gradation Quantum Ruler as our double R. So 4000 power, 1000 defense. It's quite low, but he is only a size 1. 1 crit. Stardust Brave. When this card enters the field, if you have a Neo Dragon on your field with 1 soul or more, put the top card of your deck into your gauge and draw a card. Pardon me, sorry. Stardust Brave only activates once per turn. Extra gauge and extra draw. Always useful to have. In playing Neo Dragons with cross knowledge, you're bound to have something in a soul somewhere on your field. So, Execute Sword Tragedy. We have another Dark Fog. Mars Barrier. So if it's not a link attack, null it. And Armonite Little Drake is a rare. 2000, 1000 and 1 crit, size 0. And when this card enters the field, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, put a card from your drop zone into the soul of a card on your field. Again, just fulfilling the things like with Soul Guard, help keep them alive. And there's a particular card in this set that would like to have more cards in its soul, which hopefully we will see. Draconic Maneuver. Oh, we've got a foil. Carapace Dragon Algolos. Pretty cool. Core cost is pay a gauge, but it's a 6/9, 2 crit, size 2, so he's a big hefty guy. 3rd Knight of the Apocalypse, Abarusia. When he attacks and destroys an opponent's monster, if you have another Black Knight, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Then if this card is your buddy monster, deal 1 additional damage to your opponent. See, that one I don't think you'd want to actually run as the buddy. The extra +2 crit on the fourth Knight is just so useful. And we have Cosmo Saber Eternal Anthem. Let us play the Hymn of Eternity. I love the flavor text. So 5000 power, 1 crit. Equip cost is a gauge and a life. You cannot attack the left or right with this card, but it does have double attack. Oofed. Double attack's so good in Buddyfight. So you have Gate Guider, Battle Deity Robo Rifle variant, so this is generic equipment. Equip cost is discard a card from your hand. If you do not have a generic monster on your field, you also have to pay 2 gauge. Act, rest this card if you do deal 1 damage to your opponent, so you can effectively shoot over the top of their monsters. Another Execute Sword. Jupiter 1. When this card enters your field on your right, put up to 1 Dragon Arms from your drop zone into this card's soul. And we have Death Ruler Blixt. So this is for Darkness Dragon World, size 2, 4000 and 3000 and 2 crit. Costs you 2 gauge to pay. He has Shadow Dive, so he can attack your opponent even if there's a monster in the center. And double attack. Oh, that's a foul creature. So. Dynamic Star Meteor Fallen. 100 Demon. Oh, spiders. Return to Hades. You can only cast this card when your life will become 0. Pay 3 gauge. Sorry. Pay 3 gauge. Counter for this turn. The next time your life becomes 0, your life becomes 1 instead. You can only do this once per turn though. It's cool to see cards that keep you alive, just that extra turn. Reverberation Dragon Gingongan. That was just fun to say. And then we have the first Knight of the Apocalypse, Gratos. So size 2, he's a triple R by the way. Size 2, 7,000 power, 2,000 defense, which is very low, but 3 crit. Cool cost is pay 3 gauge and put up to 3 black knights from your drop zone into this card's soul. Then if this card is your buddy monster, put up to an additional 2 into the soul. And he has counter, act. Choose a monster on your opponent's field, and you may put a number of cards equal to or more than that monster's size from this card's soul on the bottom of your deck in any order to destroy that monster. So at most, if you were to have him as your buddy, you could get 5 cards under him, so destroy a 3 and a 2. But he also has Soul Guard, so all those extra cards in the soul keep him alive as well. Very nice. And he needs that Soul Guard because it's such a low defense for a size 3. Another Gate Guider. Limbo that time. The Great River of Hades. So this is a set spell for Darkness Dragon mode. Costs a gauge. All death monsters on your field cannot be destroyed by effects from your opponent's card nor returned to hand. If you're running death monsters, why would you not run this? And we have rare Redshift Spectrums. Size 2, it's a Star Dragon, it's a Neo Dragon. 6,000, 5,000, 2 crit, cool cost, pay a gauge and put the top card of your deck into this card's soul, and it has Soul Guard. Plus, if there are two or more souls on this card gets power plus 2,000 and plus 1 crit. So cross knives into it, and you're getting something beefy as a return. Cosmo-based Geotractor. We have Clash Deity Dragon. This card cannot be called to the center, just a nice little trinket text. Soul Arms, so this is destruction type for Star Dragon. You can only cast this card during your opponent's turn. Cost a gauge and put a soul from a monster on your field into your drop zone. Destroy a size 2 or less monster on your opponent's field. So you can use this very defensively to help keep something of yours alive if they're swinging in. Apparition Demon Knight Lasting. Size 0, 3k, 1k and a crit. He counts as a Black Knight and 100 demons. Act, put this card from your field into the soul of a size 2 or greater monster on your field. And as we've seen, there's quite a few things that would like to have that already. And then we've got a rare Death Wave Rod Sturban. Other the capitalization of death, just to be certain. 3,001 crit. Act, discard a card from your hand and rest this card. If you do, put your opponent's monsters onto separate areas on his or her field. 2 cards can't be put on the same area. That's really cool, just jumble them around a bit. We have 5th Omni Cavalry Dragon Explosive Hammer Fouled. Purgatory Knights, Viking Axe Dragon. I just love the artwork on that guy. He's so cool. They made a Viking dragon. Cost a gauge to play, and weapons on your field gain critical +1. So it even has a benefit. We've got foil Soul Arms. Neat. Heavy Cannon Cavalry Dragon Big Guns. And also, Drink on the Soul, Emperor from the Blood. Empower from the Blood. Emperor from the Blood, sorry. So, spell for Darkness Dragon mode. Cool cost is pay 1 life. Put the top card of your deck into your gauge, and you may put a Darkness Dragon mode buddy monster from your drop zone into your hand. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Death Ruler Eclipse. Shadow Diver. Dragon Arms Reconnaissance. I think the artwork on that's just a bit cutesy. So it's a 5,000, 2001 crit size 1. When you're near a dragon with this card and its soul attacks and deals damage to your opponent, put the top card of your deck into your gauge, or you gain 1 life. And it's a cross nice to get it into the soul. Draconic Fierce Fight. So this is a spell. You may only cast this card if you have 5 or less life, and both you and your opponent have 2 or less cards in hand. So a little stringent on the conditions. Each player discards his or her hand and draws 4 cards. You may only cast this once per turn. So you both draw back up. It's a bit of an interesting one. Oh, we have an impact again. We haven't seen one for a while. Dragonwald Alliance. You can only cast this card if you have an Armor Dragon and a Dragon Knight on your field. Costs a gauge and deal 2 damage to your opponent. Quite simple, but at least it's one you should be able to play early enough on in the game. And we have Thunderbreak Stance. So, single rare, spell for the Dragon World. Cast cost is put the top 2 cards of your deck into this card's soul, and it's set. Counter, act, put a soul from this card into your drop zone. If you do, the next time damage will be dealt to you this turn, it's reduced by 1. When the number of cards in this card's soul becomes 0, put this card into your drop zone, so it even gets to disappear. We have Purgatory Knights, Gate Guiders, 100 Demon Sorcery Bad Trap, the banana and the fish bones, of course. You can only cast this card when your opponent casts an impact. You gain 4 life, could be just enough to keep you alive. And then Raging Chained Strikes. Oh, we have a double R, Blood Drain Sword, Buddyfight. Do you crave power? Then offer it up, your blood and your body. 4,000 power, 1 crit, it's an item. Equip cost is pay a gauge and take 1 damage if the blood drain didn't give it away. It's got Shadow Dive, so you can attack your opponent even if there's a monster in the centre. And when it deals damage to your opponent, you get to draw as well. Very good equipment card, very good. So, halfway through, we've already had a triple R, which is good. Let's see if we can't hopefully get some more as well. So, I know there's a certain card I'd very much like to see, beginning with Drum, ending in Drum. Drago Wisdom Knowledge of the 5th Omni. It's not quite a drum, but it's close. So it's single R. You may only cast this card if you have a card with 5th Omni and its card name on your field. Cast cost, take 1 damage. Put the top card of your deck into your gauge and draw a card. You can only do this once per turn though. And utility is always a positive. Purgatory Knights, Gate Guider, Core Recycle. Put a Dragon Arms from your deck into your gauge or drop zone and shuffle your deck. So there's some nice combos you can do with that, or set up with that. Cosmic Evolution. Oh, we've got double R, Demon Slay Come Forth. So it's a spell for Danger World. Put the top card of your deck into your gauge. Then reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Put up to 1 Demon Slay into your hand from among them and put the rest into your drop zone. You can only do this once per turn. So it gets you a bit of a gauge fill, but also lets you sort of search out a Demon Slay that you utilise to win that turn, hopefully. Enshrouding, Execute Sword, Violent Dragon, Jupiter 2. When this card enters on your left, put up to 1 Dragon Arms from your drop zone into this card's soul. Oh, we have another double R, Jinxed Landfill Curse Count. So 5,000 power, 1,000 defense, crit of 1, size 1. Core cost is pay a gauge. Spectral Strike, so when attacked by this card destroys your opponent's monster, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Also, if there are a total of 4 or more different black dragon monsters in your drop zone, deal 4 damage to your opponent instead. Ugh. That's tasty. We have Crimson Battler Cheering Squad, Good Luck. We have Vanilla Dynamic Star Meteor Fallen. I do like the Neo Dragon artwork. I'm very much a fan of robots. 100 Demon Sorcery, Mambutsu Bakusai. I've probably completely butchered that name, sorry. Let's at least read out the card. Cost a gauge to play, choose and use one of the following. 2, destroy a spell on your opponent's field or put a soul from a card on your opponent's field into his or her drop zone. That's effectively a destroy spell and, well, destroy spell for a spell, but that's a nice, very nice spell to have. We have Raging Chain Strikes, and then we've got a single rare, which is a Battle Deity Robo City Void Fort Mumyo. So it's generic, but it's 6,000 attack, 6,000 defense, 3 crit, however it is a size 3. Call cost is 2 gauge, and if you are ride on this card, you cannot call non-battle deity robo monsters, so you're going to be making a deck centered on this. Counter Act, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do for this turn, a card on your opponent's field gets power and defense minus 2,000, and to ride it costs 2 gauge. Upsides aren't great for it, I guess. But if you want to build a battle deity robo deck, then well, no reason not to. Core Recycle, Cash Deity Dragon, Dragon Arms, 100 Demon Spear, and we've got another rare. So this time we have a Sphere Cemetery Star Remnant. It's 3,000 power, 3,000 defense, 1 crit, size 0. This card can only be called on your left, and if you call a Neo Dragon, the amount of gauge needed to pay for its call cost is reduced by 1. So the limitation of it has to be called to your left means, unfortunately, you can't have 2 of them out, or even 3. But still, 1 and reducing call cost by 1 is nothing you should be too saddened about. Death Ruler, Purgatory Knights, Dark Fog, Gao Lion. So I'm going to read this one just because it reminds me of Kaiser Ryan. Call cost, pay a gauge. Lion Howl. When this card enters the field, you may discard a battle deity Robo from your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. You can do this once per turn. So size 2 and a bit of draw. And we have a single rare, which is the biggest Dragon Arms Sonic Blast. Size 3 monster, 6,000, 6,000 and 3 crit. Costs 2 gauge to play, but when your Neo Dragon with this card in its soul attacks, you may pay 1 gauge to destroy a card on your opponent's field. Not just a monster, a card. So you could destroy their item, you could destroy a set spell. That's impressive. And of course it has cross dice. Black Dragon Z, Emergency Evade, Soul Arms, Cosmic Evolution, and the rare for the pack is Supreme G Asura Demon Slaying. So equip cost is 1 gauge, it's got 5,000 power and 2 critical. You cannot attack the left or right with this card, but it does have Penetrate, which isn't really, I think the positives outweigh the negatives there. We have a Gate Guider, another Robo Rifle, Energy of Universe, Draconic Climax. So you may only cast this card at the beginning of your main phase. It costs 2 life. Search your deck for up to 1 impact, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck, then the main phase ends and proceed to your final phase. You do not proceed to your attack phase. So I suppose the reason it skips the attack phase is because, well, you've just got an impact card that you're presumably about to play. But you can't reveal it to your opponent, because otherwise it gives away what you're doing. And then we have a Dragonlance Stronghorn as a rare. Equip cost, pay a gauge and pay a life. You cannot attack the left or right with this card. If you have another Dragon Knight in your field, this card gets power plus 3,000 and Penetrate. Nice. We have a Draconic Maneuver. So it's just a return a Dragon Knight from your field to your hand. You can do this once per turn. So you can get their enters play abilities. Or just keep them alive. Either way, defense or offense. Oh wow, triple R, very nice. Ooh, that's shining. So this is the Spectre of Darkness Wasteland Oyamagado. Oyamagado? Yamagado. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'll just go on to reading the card. He's a size 3 monster, 8,000 power, 8,000 defense, critical 2. Cool cost, pay 3 gauge and put 1 or more 100 demons monsters from your field into this card's soul. And he's Thundermine. When your opponent draws a card, if you have 6 life or less, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Ooh. With double attack and Soul Guard. He's going to come out there because he's special. So yeah, I'm not unhappy about playing him. Not at all. Cosmo Base, Geotractor, Armalite Fairy, Bad Trap, Lunar Zeal, and we've got another rare 5th Omni Armored Dragon, Toxin Tenki. So 2,000 power and 2,000 defense, crit 2, size 1. Counteract. You may discard a monster with 5th Omni in its card name from your hand. If you do, rest a size 2 or less monster on your opponent's field. You can only do this once per turn, however. So it's not too bad, but I always find discarding monsters just to rest things is a bit of a steep cost. It could be what keeps you alive, but 5th Omni Cavalry Dragon Explosive Hammerfowled. Another Purgatory Knights. Ooh, a foil Cosmo Saber. Pretty. I do like if this card's attack is not a link attack, this card's attack cannot be nullified. I do like that. Undying Skull. And we've got a single rare Gate Guider, Gallows Gestus. So you may only call this card if there are 3 or more different death in your drop zone. Give all your other death monsters on your field power plus 2000 and critical plus 1. And it has Shadow Dive. It can attack your opponent even if there's a monster in your opponent's center. Oof. So play 3 of these. Play 3 of these on the field. They've all got 3 crit. Yep, done. Another Carapace, a Gate Guider, Return to Hades, Demon Slay Circle. Oh, and another triple R, Messenger of Despair, Metameria. Oh, so pretty. So this is for Darkness Dragon World this time. So, oh, so pretty. Sorry, size 3 monster, 9000 power, 4000 defense, crit 2. Cool cost, pay 3 gauge and put up to 2 black dragons from your drop zone into this card's soul, which is useful because it has Soul Guard. But when this card is destroyed by an attack, deal 1 damage to your opponent. And they're going to have to do that 3 times if he's got those 2 cards in his soul. So they'll be taking 3 damage, plus his double attack at 9000 with 2 crit. Oh, filthy. Filthy. So, these last 3 packs are going to be a bit anticlimactic now. Seems we've had 2 triple R's already. So, let's just flick through and see what we get. We've got a Final Gate Guider. I'm not going to pronounce that one. So it's another Darkness Dragon World, size 3, 4000 power, 3000 defense, and 3 crit. Pay 2 gauge, but it does have Shadow Dive with double attack, hence why his stats are quite so low. But double attack and Shadow Dive with 3 crit. Ugh. Hope you're. Don't hope, but your opponent better have nulls. So, Black Dragon Gene. Oh, we've got a foil one here, foil impact. True Ultimate Battle Skill, Giga Demon Slay. So this is an impact. You can only cast this if you have a total of 5 or more cards with Demon Slay or Battle Aura in your drop zone. Costs 3 gauge, standard item on your field. For this turn it gets critical plus 1 and you get another attack phase. Oh, there's a couple of cards we've seen so far with granting extra attack phase. It's interesting. We have 5th Omni Dragon Sword Emperor Fang. And then we've got an Armor Knight Noise Bat. So, size 0 monster for Danger World, 2000 power, 1000 defense with 1 crit. Counteract during an attack on your opponent's turn. You may pay a gauge and 1 life. If you do, call this card from your hand to your center and change the target of the attack to this card. So, it's a sacrificial bat, if you will. And the last pack, we have a Pedro. A Stone General for the Battle Deity Robos. When this card is attacked for this turn, nullify the attacking card's Penetrate. So, yeah, situational. We have a Return to Hades again. A Strong Armed Dragon Iron Caesar. Cool cost is a gauge and put the top card of your deck into this card's soul. And it's got Soul Guard. And the final card is an Antimatter Cloud. So it's a single R for Star Dragon World. It's a spell. Only cast this card when your opponent calls a size 3 monster. Cast cost, pay 1 gauge and discard a card from your hand. Nullify the call. So, yeah, no calling for them. There we go. That's all the packs open for that then. So let's just split this up into double R's and single R's just to see how many we did actually get in the end. There's a lot of Darkness Dragon World I'm seeing here. Oh, did I accidentally put Mr. Triple R in there? So, let's do that. So there we go. So let's have a look. So, on the top, we got 3 triple R's, which is what we should have, really. First Night of the Apocalypse, Messenger of Despair, and Spectre of Darkness. And again, we've got a nice mix. They weren't all... sorry. We have got a nice mix. The Darkness Dragon World and a 100 Demons. Sorry. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, hopefully you're playing Darkness Dragon World if you get a box like this, but at least you've got enough for what you want for your deck, or if not, you've got some really good trades there. And then for the double R's, again, more Darkness Dragon World. But at least we got something for Danger, Hero, and Normal Dragon there as well. And then obviously All the rares. So many. So many. But there we go. That's everything from our H-BT04 booster box. So I'm not unhappy with the pull. We got loads of really cool stuff in there. Some interesting cards. The only thing I would like to have seen was Mr. Drum, card number 1. I'd like to have pulled him, but can't win them all. And again, overall, if you're into Darkness, Dragon World, or after Danger World support, definitely this set for you. Definitely. Star Dragon stuff not quite as much, I don't think, but also it's the last 100 Demons booster, so always worth getting into this while they're still around. So there we go. So remember, all the cards you've seen here today can be bought and sold on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. I hope you enjoyed watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Join us in future for more Future Card Buddyfight unboxings. If you have any questions or like to know anything, just ask below in the comments. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.